date. So if you didn't see that, that's now in the chat box for you. So we're going to go ahead and shift gears a little bit and talk about the meal eligibility process and the direct certification process. So as we begin the process for determining student eligibility for meal benefits for the upcoming school year, there's just a few important key guidelines to remember. And the new school year begins on July 1st and then concludes on June 30th. And as an important reminder, a student's eligibility for free or reduced price meals must never be disclosed at any point in the process of providing free and reduced meal benefits. So school food authorities should avoid any actions or policies that could lead to overt identification, which refers to any action that could reveal or suggest a child's eligibility status, such as visible indicators, separate lines, or different meal cards. So confidentiality must be preserved during all stages of this process, including benefit notifications, eligibility certification, meal service, and at any point in time during the point of service. Next slide, please. So at the start of the school year, students who qualified for free or reduced price meals last year are temporarily eligible under carryover eligibility. And carryover eligibility means children who are on free or reduced at the end of the previous school year begin the new school year with those same benefits. So this status lasts for the first 30 school days or until a new application is processed or the student appears on the direct certification list. So important to note here that it's whichever comes first. So if a new eligibility determination is made through a new application or direct certification before that 30-day carryover period is up, this new determination overrides the carryover status immediately. So the school does not have to wait the full 30 days, even if that new status is maybe less beneficial. Schools may encourage earlier application returns in the letter to households. This is attachment B, and it's located on our website. But schools must still honor that full 30-day window if they haven't turned in that application yet. So be sure to calculate your district's 30th school day. This would exclude any non-school days, holidays, weekends, and begin reminding families approximately 7 to 10 days before that deadline. Then on the 31st day, if no new eligibility is confirmed, then you'll want to make sure the student's status is changed to paid. And the student information system should be updated accordingly. So just be sure to, if using a student information system that tracks this, just be sure that that's updated. We had a few errors with this last year that caused some issues during compliance reviews. So always double check that those dates are changed over and the student's eligibility is updated correctly. Next slide, please. So households can qualify for free or reduced price meals in two different ways, by submitting a free or reduced price meal application, which Erica will talk about later on during this training, or through direct certification. And so we are going to focus heavily on direct certification for a little bit. Direct certification automatically qualifies students based on participation in programs like SNAP, TANF, or Medicaid. And for Medicaid-based eligibility, such as Medicaid free or Medicaid reduced, students are only eligible through the direct certification method. And then categorical eligibility also grants free meals without requiring income information. This is based on a student's participation in certain programs or specific circumstances. And I'll be providing more details on both Medicaid and categorical eligibility here later on in the presentation. Next slide. So direct certification, there's a process to the direct certification, and it is a simplified method of determining free or reduced price meal eligibility. For households that qualify, there's no need to submit a meal application. And direct certification helps extend free and reduced meal benefits to more students. So we're going to review the process of direct certification and the steps required, and then we'll go over the direct cert modules in the CMP system. So we're really going to walk through this step by step. Next slide, please. So the direct certification process follows a clear sequence of steps, and that's summarized here on this flow chart on the screen. So the first step is that SFAs must ensure all student records are current for school year 25-26 by either manually updating each student's person ID or uploading a new roster into the advisor person ID system. An enrollment file can also be uploaded to the CMP Direct Certification Enrollment module, which we'll cover in depth here in a little bit. And then accurate matching will depend on the up-to-date person ID data. So once those records are updated, students who qualify for benefits such as SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, FDPIR will appear in the DHHS or NDE databases. Each night, the DC system compares student records with the DHHS and NDE databases, and a 100% match occurs when a student's first and last name, date of birth, and gender, and NDE ID match exactly across both systems. So the day after the data is processed, the matched students will appear on your match list, and these students are then automatically eligible for free or reduced price meals and do not need to submit additional documentation. So as mentioned on the previous slide, you may update or upload your student records in Advisor Person ID, or you can add your enrollment record to the DC system. I'm not going to focus as much on the dates since we are now into July. Both Advisor Person ID and the CMP system are working accordingly, and you should be able to upload your enrollment to make matches overnight. The Advisor Person ID is the preferred method. So you'll want to use the Advisor Person ID upload guide to make sure you have a successful upload. This is included in your handouts, and you can go ahead and upload the school year 25-26 rosters here at any time for July matching. If you are not the designated individual responsible for uploading your student enrollment into Advisor Person ID, you will want to consult with your administrative team or your designated data steward to ensure that the student enrollment information for the school year 25-26 academic year has been accurately submitted. The secondary method is to add your enrollment record to the CMP Direct Certification system. So if using this method, you must use the Direct Certification enrollment template for a successful upload. So please note that you cannot make your own spreadsheet for the upload, as this will generate an error and you won't have a successful upload. And you may start adding your enrollment here again anytime during July for July matches. You won't see matches. If you upload today, for example, those matches again are made overnight, so you won't see anything on your match list until tomorrow. And we encourage all schools, both public and non-public, this does not apply to RCCIs or ESUs, to upload your current student roster into Advisor Person ID as soon as you're able, as this is the best way that we can ensure up-to-date matching that's occurring at the start of your school year. Next slide, please. So as mentioned before, the Advisor Person ID instructions are in your handouts. I believe it's handout 44 in your packet. And if you have questions on Advisor Person ID or you're having issues uploading your roster, please reach out to the Advisor Help Desk. And that Help Desk email is located in the top right corner of this screen. And then public SFAs should manually upload new student data until September 15th, while non-public SFAs should manually upload throughout school year 25-26. I'll provide more details to why here in the next slides. Next slide, please. So to access the direct certification system, you're going to want to log in to the CMP system. Sean provided some instructions on how to get into that system earlier. And you will then click Applications in the dark blue bar up in the left-hand corner, followed by the Direct Certification, Direct Verification link. And that's highlighted in red here on this slide. So this will take you to a second page, and you will want to click on that option again to reach the Direct Certification homepage. which is shown here on the next slide. So this is what your direct certification homepage will look like once you've accessed that through CMP. From this screen, you can now access your enrollment, your match list, and other specific functions. So we're going to go over these functions, and we're first going to cover the enrollment tile. So again, our focus is going to be this orange enrollment tile. This is where you're going to upload your student enrollment for school year 25-26. Again, this serves as the secondary option and is available for both public and non-public entities. So a designated template is required for this process, as mentioned earlier. We're going to review this in detail. We are past July 1st, so you can now begin uploading those files into CMP at any time, with those matches being made overnight. Let's go ahead and jump to the next slide. So we're going to focus here a little bit on the enrollment tab. And so once we've selected that orange enrollment tile, the screen you'll see initially will present options to submit student enrollment, either through the Excel template or by individual student. So we're going to walk through submitting enrollment via the Excel spreadsheet to ensure a smooth and successful upload. So the template is required and is available under the enrollment tile as shown here on the screen. You can see that red arrow pointing to the link. So once you get to that tile, you're simply going to click the link, and by doing so, we'll open a separate Excel file on your computer, which you can then download to start adding your student enrollment to. So all columns are required except for your local student ID. So we're going to start with that first column being the school building number. This is going to be a numeric 3-digit number that is the school building associated with that student per advisor person ID. So if you're unsure how to locate it, please refer back to person ID. Again, this will always be 3 digits. So for example, if the school building number is 1, you would need to enter it as 001 to meet that 3-digit requirement. So if that's not done correctly, you may experience an issue with your upload. So no less or no more than 3 digits. It must be 3 digits. The second column then is the local student ID, and as mentioned before, this is not required, but you can include it if there are IDs used specific to your school district. And then the third column is going to be the NDE student ID. So each student must have a unique 10-digit NDE ID for accurate matching and tracking. So this is crucial. You want to make sure when you're uploading this roster that that student has that 10-digit NDE ID. It shouldn't be entered as a formula. You should just see 10 numbers for their NDE ID. Any missing or duplicate IDs will cause issues with your upload. This ID, again, comes from advisor person ID, so you'll want to double check your template before uploading. If this is showing the formula instead of a 10-digit number, please upload a new enrollment template and try it again. If a student does not have an NDE ID, then you can either wait to upload your roster until you have all of your students with their NDE IDs ready to go, or you can remove the students that do not have their NDE IDs, upload the students that do, and then wait and upload those that did not have the NDE ID at a later time. Or you can update them individually if maybe you only have a small number of students that need to be uploaded. Also important to note to never leave blanks or to hide rows. If you have blank rows, remove them completely. Incomplete data will prevent a successful upload. So if you upload your template and you start your enrollment list on row 3 and you've left row 2 blank, it will prevent you from uploading. So as you can see on the screen, row 1 is going to be your headers, your NDE student ID, student name, date of birth, etc. You will want to start your enrollment list directly under those headers on row 2. We've seen a few issues with that here in the past few days. Again, don't leave any blank rows when uploading your data. And then the student's first and last name must be uploaded. This may seem straightforward, but names can often present some challenges. So when uploading this file, avoid using nicknames. Make sure the student's name matches exactly what is listed in your person ID system. This is especially crucial for those hyphenated names or last names that might include multiple words. So accuracy here ensures consistency with the advisor person ID system and ensures a successful upload. Student gender must be entered as M or F. If you type out male or female, it will cause an error. So again, just be sure to enter those letters. And then the student birthday is our last column. This is alphanumeric, so there are two different formatting options here. You can either put the year first or the year at the end, and the file will require you to enter the birth date in one of those two options. So we have a helpful handout in your packet that goes over formatting instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to upload this. I just want to remind you, please go back if you are trying to upload and it's giving you an error. Go back to your Excel spreadsheet, double check all of your formatting or all of these formatting tips, and then try it again. And then once again, please do not create your own spreadsheet. You must use the template that's provided on the CMP site. Next slide, please. Some other quick tips for successful upload. You can upload a file in protected or compatibility mode, but be sure to save it as a CSV or Excel file and ensure the data is correctly formatted and follow the guidance provided at the top of the template. Won't spend a lot of time here. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So now that we've completed the prep work for uploading student data into the DC system, our file is now ready. It's formatted correctly. It's saved up as an XLS or CSV file. We are going to go ahead and click the choose file to upload. It's going to be the dark blue box on the screen. You're going to find your saved student enrollment file, select it, make sure that file name appears in that field to the left-hand side of choose file. And then you're going to click on the green upload tile to submit the file. Your student data will then be added to the system for matching. And next slide, please. So after uploading your file, you'll know that your upload was successful when you scroll down to the submitted student enrollment records section. If, again, that was successful, the records should appear just as they were in your spreadsheet. So larger files may take up to 5 minutes to generate or show up here. If they don't appear right away, you can try clicking refresh or log in and log out and log back in. Once visible, just make sure the number of records matches your list. So you'll see the results there up in the right-hand side. Your results should match the number of your student enrollment. Next slide, please. So when uploading enrollment data, you will want to watch for errors, and those will be highlighted in orange, as you can see in that top screenshot here on the slide. We can see that the NDE student ID is highlighted because it's showing up as all zeros. So we know that this will need to be corrected. You can filter out those errors by selecting display only errors, and that's shown there in blue. On the screen, it's the blue tile. So you can upload multiple files as needed. So if your file is showing these errors, you can go ahead and display only. You can then create another roster of those students that only have the errors. So say we uploaded a file with 6,000 students and maybe only 20 records have errors. We would create a new file with just the corrected entries and upload that. You do not re-upload the full list. We only recommend uploading those in errors so those can get corrected. If you upload the entire list again, it will create duplicates. So we don't want that. We want to keep our list clean. So again, only uploading those students that are in error. Some other additional tips: if you see a yellow error message, it may be due to your file type, your formatting, or a temporary internet issue. So again, go back, double check your formatting of your spreadsheet, try uploading it again. If those problems persist, then you can contact our team for help at any time, of course. You'll want to make sure and verify all records. So even if the upload appears successful, again, confirm that all students are listed, including those who may not qualify for benefits. So you would do this by checking the total number of records or results in the submitted student enrollment records section, and you would compare that to your student enrollment list. And then again, I can't say this enough, make sure you're watching for any blank cells or blank rows in your spreadsheet. When this happens, it will prevent the system from processing all of your records. So for example, if you have 100 students and you've uploaded your file and only 15 are showing up under that submitted student enrollment record list, you'll want to check your file after the 15th student that's populated and see if there's something missing in that row that prevented the rest of the students to upload. So once you do that, if you find the error, go ahead and re-upload only the students that are missing. There's a lot to remember here too. So if you are running into issues, please reach out to us at any time and we can see if we can help get that uploaded for you. Next slide, please. So again, just a common or a recap of those common enrollment record errors. Single digit building codes or minor discrepancies like that can lead to issues with a successful upload. Different last names can make matching difficult. Duplicate student entries can be an issue. You can choose to remove those duplicates to keep your list clean. If you have missing NDE student IDs, as we discussed earlier, this will cause an unsuccessful upload. So always make sure that they have that NDE ID tied to that student name. And then only entering M or F for gender. If entering anything different, this will cause an error. And then files must be uploaded in Excel or CSV format. So again, just be sure your formatting is correct before attempting to upload. So as mentioned earlier, we've included a helpful guide in your packet. This is handout 80. This covers everything from the formatting requirements to step-by-step instructions for the upload process. So again, please pay special attention to those formatting requirements. 95% of the time, if your upload isn't working, it is likely because of a formatting issue. So double check that. And then additionally, our email address is provided at the bottom of this screen. If you have any questions or concerns or struggling to get that list to successfully upload, please reach out to us. Next slide, please. So to help you manage upcoming tasks for successful student matching, we've included some key timelines. This is also found in your checklist and important dates handouts that Sean mentioned earlier. So for non-public school food authorities, you can begin using that preferred method of updating student records via advisor or person ID starting in June. If using that secondary method, then you can start uploading into CMP. So we are past July 1st, so you can go ahead and start using advisor or that secondary method to upload your enrollment. And then for non-public SFAs, you should continue uploading updated rosters regularly from July through June as the system runs nightly matching. So keeping your enrollment data current ensures timely and accurate matches. Next slide, please. For public school food authorities, the timeline for updating student records through Advisor or uploading enrollment files through CMP is the same as non-public schools with those June and July dates. Again, we're after July 1st, so you can go ahead and start using either of those options for student uploads. However, the difference from July 1st to September 14th, public schools should manually upload student enrollment into Person ID or the direct certification CMP system. And then starting September 15th, the advisor system will automatically interface with your student information system. And updates made here in your student information system will then be reflected in the DC system for matching. So the only exception is for students new to Nebraska who need a new NDE student ID. This must still be created manually in Person ID. So for student transfers or those no longer attending, updates can be made into your student information system and will be processed accordingly. Next slide, please. So once your student data is updated, the system runs nightly to find matches. So you can then view your matches by clicking the green match list tile on the direct certification home screen. This is also linked into your handouts. And so we will go ahead and select the green match list tile. And next slide, please. So this tile shows students who qualify for free or reduced benefits. So as mentioned earlier, if a student appears on this match list, no further action is required for them to receive benefits. It's important to note that once a student is on the match list, their eligibility remains valid throughout the entire school year and into the carryover period, regardless of changes in their circumstances. So if a student is listed as a foster student in August, but is adopted in December, their benefits will continue throughout the school year and into the carryover period of the next year. Similarly, if a household qualifies for SNAP in October, but no longer qualifies in March, the student remains eligible from the date they appeared on the match list through the rest of the year and into the carryover period. So we rarely see students that drop off the list during the school year, but it has happened. So it's always a good idea to print or save your list at the beginning of the year and then just periodically throughout the year, making sure that you're saving that. The matching process runs nightly, and you can see the most recent match date for your district in the bottom right-hand corner of the green match list tile. So that is circled in red here on the screen. Next slide, please. So when we select that green match list tile, this is what your screen will look like. So this shows all students who have been directly certified for their benefits. So some key features that I will point out here, you can filter dates. You can enter a start date and then click search all dates to view matches from that specific date through the current day. You have sorting options. You can click any of those headers to sort by name, NDE ID, birth date, or the qualifying benefit. And then there's also the export feature. And so you can export the list to Excel or another format for easier storing, updating, or printing. And then each student entry includes the match date, the qualifying program, and possibly the local ID if you've included that. The print list button still is currently not working, so you must use the export feature to export the list to Excel and print from there. Once again, always a good idea to print your list or save it regularly as new matches are added. And the match list is a valuable tool for tracking and managing your students' benefits efficiently. You can also choose to accept, transfer, or remove students from your match list, but these actions are optional. Students will still receive benefits even if no action is taken. These tools are just there to help you keep your list organized, and a report is available to track all actions and comments for both current and past years. Next slide, please. In the direct certification system, students can qualify through one of 8 programs. Most of these, except for foster, migrant, and homeless, allow benefits to extend to other students in the same household. So, for example, if one child qualifies for SNAP, their siblings can also receive benefits. However, you'll see that foster, migrant, and homeless are all circled in red as no for household extension. So these benefits are student specific and do not extend to others in the household. And then Medicaid Reduced is the only program that provides reduced price meals. All other qualify students for free meals. And students are always matched to the highest priority program. For instance, if a student qualifies for both FDPIR and SNAP, they'll be matched under SNAP as it is the highest priority program. Importantly, a student's benefits can increase but can never decrease. So if a student qualifies for reduced Medicaid in August and later qualifies for SNAP in November, their benefits will be updated to receive free meals. If a student's eligibility changes, they retain their benefits for the rest of the school year and again into that carryover period. So extended benefits also apply during the carryover period as well. So, for example, if an older student qualifies for free meals this year and a younger sibling started kindergarten next fall, they would also receive those benefits. And this slide is included in your handouts. It's a helpful handout to print off and refer to especially when it comes to that household extension. So this is handout 83 in your packet. Next slide, please. So some direct certification programs allow benefits to be extended to other students in the same household. This includes SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, and FDPIR. Just to be clear, again, those benefits for migrant, foster, and homeless are student specific and cannot be extended. And a household is defined as individuals living together as one economic unit. So for example, if an older student or sibling qualifies for SNAP, benefits can be extended to younger siblings, even if they don't appear on the match list. So you'll want to be sure to document this. You need to make sure that your student information system is updated and keep records that show how and why those benefits were extended to those other members of the household. So some commonly asked questions for extending free and reduced price meal benefits for SNAP, TANF, FDPIR, Medicaid free and Medicaid reduced. If family A and family B are living together, do all students receive meal benefits? The answer to this is yes, if the two families are a single economic unit, meaning that they are sharing the cost of rent, utilities, other expenses, then then those benefits would extend to the other household members. Families do not have to be related to be considered a household. Another question, again, does carryover exist for extended benefits? The answer to this is yes. Categorical eligibility must be extended to newly enrolled siblings residing in the same household. And do I need to save a list of students with extended benefits? Again, the answer to this is yes. Your district must be able to link the student with the benefit to the students that the benefit is being extended to in the household or that are on the direct certification list. So if your student information system, if you can't do this or difficult to track, be sure to print and save your match list and manually add those students to the list, again, if they can't be added into CMP. Next slide, please. So a common question involves students on Medicaid. So we've received several questions last year regarding Medicaid benefits and students not showing up on the list. So not all Medicaid programs require income verification. So not all of the programs meet the eligibility criteria for free and reduced price meals. The direct certification system uses income data to determine eligibility. So only students who appear on the DC match list qualify for Medicaid-based benefits. So what to do if your student isn't on the list. If a student has a Medicaid card, but they are not on the list, we received several questions of this last year with families showing a Medicaid card to the bookkeeper, but that student was not on the list. You cannot provide the Medicaid benefit to that student. Instead, you would encourage the household to submit an income application, which may qualify them through another route. The Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP, often causes confusions. And unlike Medicaid, CHIP does not meet income guidelines for free or reduced meals due to higher income thresholds. So if a household believes they should qualify, but the student isn't on the match list, you can contact our team to verify with DHHS. And again, remind the families they can still apply through an income application. In households with multiple students, some may qualify for Medicaid free and others may qualify for Medicaid reduced. Again, this qualifies for household extension, and you would extend the highest benefit or the highest priority, which would be Medicaid free, to all students in the household. And then finally, all households must be notified in writing if a student qualifies through direct certification. If a family declines the benefit, you must honor their request and change the student's status to paid. Next slide, please. So handout 84 in your packet, this is a new handout and is available this year to help address any common questions from families regarding Medicaid and maybe why a student is not appearing on the direct certification match list. So this handout includes a chart that outlines Medicaid categories that qualify for automatic eligibility. So under the National School Lunch Program, students receiving modified adjusted gross income Medicaid may qualify based on household income. Those below 133% of the federal poverty level qualify for free lunch, while those between 133% and 185% qualify for reduced price lunch. Students enrolled in the non-modified adjusted gross income Medicaid programs are not eligible for National School Lunch Program benefits. So hopefully this handout is something that you can print off and have available if you have families that are questioning, why their student's not receiving that Medicaid benefit. You can refer back to this to see and maybe ask more questions as far as which Medicaid program they're on. Again, if you have questions or maybe this isn't answering your question and you need more information, always reach out to us for clarification. Next slide, please. So again, just to point out, the print list button doesn't work properly. Please be sure to use the export option instead. Just be sure that you're clicking search all dates first to include all match list data before exporting and printing. This allows you to save your list and to then be able to print your hard copy. There's a helpful handout in your packet, handout 85, that provides detailed instructions for printing. We won't spend a lot of time here, but if you have any questions about printing the match list or any of the other lists or data from the DC system, please feel free to reach out to us. Next slide, please. So once a student appears on your direct certification list, your next steps are pretty straightforward. You're going to first notify the household using the notice of approval or denial letter. This is attachment D and is located on our website. This is updated annually and available on our website. And then you can populate the form with the necessary details and send it to all students who qualify for direct certification. The second step is to then retain a copy of the letter for your records as proof of notification. The letter informs households that no further application is needed and confirms eligibility through direct certification. It also reassures families that benefits are valid for the current school year in the first 30 operating days of the next. The only exception to this would be for students that qualify for Medicaid reduced. In this case, households may submit an income application if they believe they qualify for free meals based on household size or income. So, if you have that student that's Medicaid reduced and the household turned in the application and you've determined them as free, you would need to go ahead and provide the free benefit to that student. Next slide, please. So school districts must keep their direct certification list updated throughout the year, tracking any changes or student transfers. And again, be sure to keep that printed list on file or a saved list as proof of eligibility. If a student transfers, eligibility can be shared using an approval letter, a written notice on school letterhead, or an email from the previous district would be acceptable. Just be sure to keep a copy and update your records as these documents are valid for review purposes. Next slide, please. So let's go over the possible match list tile and how this differs from the regular green match list tile. So the green match list tile shows students with 100% match on name, date of birth, and gender. These are all verified matches, and those students are eligible for benefits. The possible match list, which is shown here on the screen, includes students with partial matches or students that maybe have less than 100% match who might qualify for benefits. The reason they didn't match 100% might be due to small differences like a misspelled name, mismatched gender, or incorrect birth year. So, as the school food authority, you are responsible for reviewing these possible matches and confirming whether they are the same student. Once you've confirmed this, you can go ahead and accept the match and issue the benefits accordingly. So, we do recommend checking the possible match list at least weekly. Ideally, we would recommend daily, especially early in the school year, just to ensure timely processing. Next slide, please. The student lookup tool in the direct certification system, marked by the blue tile, lets you search for students who may qualify for benefits but don't appear on your match list or possible match list. So this can happen due to discrepancies like name spelling variations, incorrect birth dates, or mismatched gender between your student information system and the DHHS database. So you can search using the NDE student ID or other demographic details like name, gender, and date of birth. If you find the match, you can go ahead and verify the information, and if correct, add the student to your match list. If you encounter issues using the tool or you can't accept the match list, please contact our team for assistance to ensure the student is matched successfully. Sometimes we do have to reach out to DHHS to get information changed in order for you to be able to accept that match. Next slide, please. The lookup results screen displays potential matches after you've entered student information. So to get the most accurate results, be specific as possible when entering student data. Once your results appear, the system shows what it found based on your input. So as the determining official, it's your responsibility to review the results and confirm if the student is a valid match. If confirmed, again, that you can then add the student to your match list and proceed with issuing benefits. So the reports tile here shown on the screen offers several helpful tools related to direct certification, especially during certification season when you need to report the number of directly certified students and their qualifying programs. So some commonly used reports include your match list report, where you can view your direct certification matches and any actions taken. You can view your possible match list report, and this is where you can review students flagged as potential matches by the system. And then you can also access your enrollment reports. So this is where you would see all students uploaded into the enrollment section to ensure no one is missed. These reports help you stay organized and ensure accurate reporting throughout the school year. And then the last bit of important information on direct certification, we receive a lot of questions from schools on how to ensure staff are properly notified about activity in the direct certification system, especially during these early months when match activity is highest. So you will want to make sure that you're signed up for email notifications to stay on top of those updates. So early communication is key, as match activity is most frequent at the start of the school year. You will want to designate at least 2 or 3 staff contacts to receive notifications, as this ensures coverage if someone is unavailable. So you can set up these email alerts by clicking on the blue email notification tile on the DC homepage. This allows you to assign staff to receive updates about match lists, possible matches, and other system messages. Please refer to the direct certification notification guide and your handouts for step-by-step instructions on this. Again, it is very important for you to receive that communication and make sure that your list is as updated as possible. I will point out, while the email notifications are great, they don't always work as they should, so don't solely rely on these email alerts. Just make sure that you're regularly checking the system for new matches. And this is on handout 88 in your packet for those instructions on email notifications. So to learn more about the direct certification system and how it works, especially if you are new to your position, we highly recommend watching the training, which can be found on our website under direct certification and direct verification. We've also included the link here on the slide, but it provides some more in detail information on the direct certification process. I believe we have a break scheduled here. So we'll go ahead and offer a 10-minute break, get up, stretch, grab a cup of coffee if needed. This is a good time to go ahead and enter questions into the chat.